What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Empire Radio Podcast. I'm Andrew,
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
and today we are talking about the onslaught of news that we received last Thursday, from the Disney investors meeting. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to try to cover it all without going on 30-minute rabbit trails every time. But before we begin, you know what's coming next if you've been listening to this podcast. But before we begin, we do want to talk about the wonderful people at cufflinks.com and something that we have been doing for the past few weeks with them, and that is doing giveaways. So if you haven't heard any of this, probably means you're new. So welcome. Thank you for checking out the podcast.
Hello there.
And that's when the new people in their vehicles or wherever they are, they respond with General Kenobi. I would hope that would be the correct response.
Yes.
But we've been doing giveaways. Cufflinks.com, who you'll hear about in more detail in just a second, has been gracious enough to give us some items to give away surrounding the, season 2 of The Mandalorian releasing on a weekly basis and whatnot. And we are in the midst of our final giveaway. What does that mean for you? Well, you, the listener, you have the opportunity to win a gift set from them valued at $165.
Ooh.
That's not a small chunk of change. This gift set includes all the items, by the way, contain some sort of pattern of the Mythosaur skull logo that you know, mostly from Boba Fett.
Boba Fett?
Boba Fett. But these items include a set of cufflinks, a necktie, a really nice necktie, a tie clip, a pocket square. Andrew, what's the last one?
Isn't that it?
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah. Good work.
Gosh, dang. I was like,
I'm sorry.
Were you serious or are you trying to mess
with
us?
I'm like,
never know.
I think
but it is the gift set that includes all those items. And we are pleased to announce our surprise item. So we talked about last week during the Mandalorian podcast episode that we did on the episode of the Mandalorian. We discussed that because this is our season, like our grand finale, Mandalorian season finale giveaway, we're adding some extra things in. So we are pleased to announce that the first item we are going to be adding into the giveaway is a Funko Pop of the Mandalorian Din Djarin himself in his full Beskar armor.
Yes.
So the winner will also receive a Funko Pop of the Mandalorian. Now, the next thing I am really excited about, because I love coffee. And I hope you do too. And I hope you, the listener, will be excited as well. But we are giving away a free bag of coffee from Wesley Andrews, who has also been a longtime sponsor and supporter of our podcast. But it's not just any bag of coffee. It is the first ever blend of coffee that Wesley Andrews has ever done. They don't do blends. So it's the first blend, and it is completely Star Wars themed for our podcast.
Correct.
So it is called the Rule of Two coffee. That's the name of the blend, the Rule of Two, because it's got two blends or two coffees in it in the blend. It also symbolizes our wonderful partnership with them and our love for the Empire and the Sith, obviously, if you can tell by our name. So it is a special blend of coffee specifically for this competition, or this giveaway, I should say. That's a better word for it. So if you don't win, we do have some exciting news, but we're not going to give that to you yet.
Nope.
But you may or may not have a chance to actually snag a bag of this in a very limited quantity later. But there will be more on that later. For the time being, what you need to know is that in the giveaway pot is a free bag of first of its kind, limited edition Star Wars themed Wesley Andrews coffee for you to enjoy. It is whole bean. So if you get it and you don't have a grinder, you should probably get a grinder.
Or you can tell us when you
Get a
win
hammer.
it. Hammer? Did you say get a hammer?
Yeah.
Oh my.
That is one way to do that. Yes.
Just tell me when you win, if you don't have a grinder, I can grind it to the size of your choice as well.
There you go. Sweet.
But I hope you
So
do have one and not
yeah.
a hammer or a knife.
Yes. Yep. Or
any
a
tools
slew of
that
other
Jeremiah
things.
can
Yeah.
start saying.
Food processor.
I
Yep.
mean,
Nope.
good.
So if you want to get in on that giveaway, head over to the link in our bio on Instagram as well as on our Facebook page, both of which are at Empire Radio Podcast. All one word, and click the link. Do the things on there. It's really easy and it doesn't take very long at all. You can do all of the things in under probably 3 minutes, if not less. And go ahead and reserve your entries to be potentially be a winner. Share it with everybody. You can have your parents, your friends, your family enter for you if you really wanted to. So, yeah, go enter the contest so that you can win all of those wonderful things. But really quickly, before we dive into all of the fun stuff about the announcements, take a quick listen to a word about our sponsor, cufflinks.com. All right.
Go
check them
get
out.
it.
Use our code Empire15 at checkout. You get a nice little discount. I don't know if that rhymed.
Kind of did. I was going to say. That was.
Yeah.
Go check it out so you can get your discount.
Oh. All right.
I'm not a rapper.
Well, on that note, so like I mentioned at the very beginning of the episode, today we are talking about the slew of announcements that were made on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to be very lucky. A buddy of mine actually sent me the live stream. I had no idea about it. But
yeah,
he
we
sent
didn't
it to
do
me.
a great job as a podcast.
Hey, I posted in Discord that there was going to be a thing, and you guys didn't see that,
correct.
and then forgot about
correct.
it. So,
well, you should have took off work and done a live reaction.
No.
Okay. Well, once again, we did not do a great job as a podcast to get this out to you right away. But doesn't mean we're not going to do it today. Also, by the time you are listening to this, there is a video of me reacting to it live. And it is a video on our Twitch channel and our YouTube. And it should be up on YouTube right now. So if you want to see me react to the panel, go check that out. I didn't. It's a little late, but I also did not have any clue besides the names of certain things. And
yeah,
I was really frustrated to like get those minute slots of waiting.
Yeah.
It was really frustrating. I was like, oh, so
yeah.
what?
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, there was a separate stream. There was a public stream. Anybody could click on and watch. And then there was a separate stream for the investors. And they definitely got to see whatever sneak peek they had of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they definitely got to see Lando, a sneak peek of that, of like what they have gotten so far together. So that's a bummer. But you know what? That's what you get for investing in Disney, I guess.
I wonder how much you have to like.
I was gonna say
maybe have to own in order to like.
Can we just give like $20?
No, because
I feel like one share of Disney stock is more than $20.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, how many shares do you have to have?
I don't know.
It'd be nice to know.
13% though after that event though. So next time there's an investors one, we need to buy one share and then sell it like 3 days later and then make like 13% profit.
Yeah.
Or just hold it. And then when they do the next one, then it'll even
but it'll go down eventually. So it's
then it'll go back up.
And you just illustrated the risk of playing the stock markets, Drew.
You're welcome.
In real time for us. So thank you for that.
It's always
but
a
yeah,
gamble.
we're gonna be. Never tell me the odds. So we're gonna go through each of these announcements.
Question.
I did some. Yes.
Are we going through the non-Star Wars but Lucas announcements?
No.
Okay.
No. This is a Star Wars podcast.
All right.
You want to talk? You want to talk about Loki?
No.
You want to talk about
That's
Willows? Not here.
Willows looks cool.
I don't even know, dude. I didn't even watch it. when they were done with Star Wars, I was like, I'm out.
Or like the blood, whatever.
Of Blood and Bone.
Yeah,
book.
that I heard that book is really good.
I have also heard very good things about that.
But anyway,
okay.
Star Wars.
Yep. So we're going to dive in. So for each of these, the goal is to give you a brief synopsis of what we know so far, confirmed, no speculation in this section. And then the next thing will be our thoughts on each of these, and then after that, we will go into speculation. Some of these things are really difficult to speculate about, as we'll see in a little bit. But let's dive in. First thing on the slate: Bad Batch, the Bad Batch TV show. So this one, I chose this one to go first because this is probably going to be the first thing out of all of these we get. There are a few of these on the list that are slated for 2021, but I would imagine Bad Batch is going to be first.
We don't have a date still, huh? On Bad Batch?
So that's actually one of the points. So what we know is it is a show set in the post-Clone Wars era in which the Bad Batch take on mercenary missions and try to find their purpose. We do have a trailer, which I'll hit in a second. And the only other thing we have is that it is set for a 2021 release. I did do some research to try to see if there was any more information about the release date. There's not.
I have a speculation on that, though.
What is your speculation?
Because Disney Plus is going to be releasing 3 Marvel series, one in January, one in March, one in May. And I doubt that they're going to have simultaneous big shows like that released at the same time.
Right.
So I'm assuming after Loki, when that gets done, which would probably be
April, March.
That comes out in May. I think it's 6 episodes.
Dang,
so
Loki
that's one
comes
a week.
out in May? Dang.
It would be mid.
So after Loki?
I'm guessing it'll be in the summer.
You think it's a summer?
Wait that long.
June or July, and then because.
Oh, I definitely think it's either summer or potentially even fall.
With the delay on Mandalorian season 3 release not being until Christmas, they're going to want something in the summer for Star Wars to make up for the delay.
I can see that.
So I'm guessing
now here's the thing: there are other Star Wars projects coming out on Disney Plus in this year. So
is that what they said? I don't remember that.
What else?
There are at least 2 more.
2 more? What is that?
Yep. Well, we'll get to it.
We'll get there. So, anyways, I think there are 2 more. Yeah, there could potentially be 3.
Well, Mando and Bad Batch. So what's the one other one?
Well, potentially one of either of the Ahsoka or Ranger shows. Visions, the anime one, and Droid. I'm pretty sure Droid. No, maybe it was just the Visions one. But Visions is for sure. For sure, 2021.
It's gonna be so fire, dude.
We'll get there. Hold on, we'll get there. Okay, so so Bad Batch 2021 release. It is post Clone Wars. Mercenary missions. They're doing mercenary missions and try to find their purpose. I do have some quick notes about the trailer. So one thing, Echo is present. Mm-hmm. We do see Echo as a part of the Bad Batch. They are on Kamino at some point. Mm-hmm. We do see shots of a training course where they have these white droids that do look similar to Dark Troopers in their design.
I hear that those are supposed to be Phase 1.
Yeah. There are shots of conflict between the Bad Batch and the rest of the clones. Zygeria is seen, the slaver planet, and they're seen doing stuff with the slavers, fighting them. There's speculation that there might be a shot of the Braca scrapyards. Yep. There is speculation that we might be seeing a new covert trooper, clone trooper, or some new variant that we haven't seen before. Obviously, Fennec Shand is in this. And the last notable thing from the trailer is that Tarkin is the rank of Admiral and not Moff at this point.
Ooh.
Right.
Based on his insignia on his uniform. So
that's cool. Also, so that is Fennec, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, we saw her
confirmed
twice.
or that everyone thinks that?
It's not confirmed, but it's like
we saw her
you have
twice. Like they first.
You have a female character who's wearing the exact same helmet and a very similar outfit. She has a rifle, a long rifle, unless she has a twin sister that we don't know about. But I would imagine it would be Fennec. So that's what we know so far, for sure. Obviously, there's a lot in the trailer, and the trailer could honestly be its own episode itself. But there is a lot in the trailer. We see Palpatine's speech. That happens post Order 66 when he's in the Senate, in the rotunda. And we see a lot of them outside of their uniforms in normal clothes. So there's a lot of potential for this. And obviously the big thing at the end of the trailer where the Clone Wars logo burns away and we have the Bad Batch logo there instead. So this is very clearly the official next phase in this Clone Wars story, obviously. So how do we feel? What do we think about this?
I'm pumped.
Oh yeah,
I'm super pumped because I'm happy
good
that
or
it's
bad?
It's the same animation style.
Mm-hmm.
So
it looks good. There are some shots that look like they even increased the quality from season 7.
Yeah,
right.
But it's that same style. It's not a different art style like Rebels is. And I prefer the Clone Wars style over Rebels personally. Midway through Rebels, though, I did really start to enjoy it. I do appreciate it for what it is. Sure. But I do prefer the Clone Wars. Do we know, are they good or bad, or no?
We don't know anything.
Okay.
The only thing we can potentially speculate on is the shots in the trailer of them, up in arms against their normal clone trooper brothers. And there are shots where it's clear, like it's not clever editing, like they are actually fighting normal clone troopers. So we don't know what that means.
Obvious?
Huh?
I didn't think that.
Yeah.
There was one scene where the cuts looks like they're aiming at each other, but that's just.
There's a scene where there's a fight scene in a cafeteria, or like right before a fight scene would break out, where Crosshair throws.
Yeah, but that's just.
But then there's Wrecker takes
sides.
2 helmets and smashes them together.
Hadouken.
Yeah. All I'm saying is they really want us to believe that there's going to be some conflict based on the editing. So it could be wrong.
But the thing is, if it seems like they're implying Tarkin is their leader, which I called in my fan fiction. Bad Batch.
You did.
And if they are on the planet Baraka, they go to Baraka in my fan fiction.
Wow.
First of all, we need to send Lucasfilm a cease and desist on whatever they're making over there, because they're stealing my ideas.
And they're definitely going to send it right back to us too. So I think we'll just call it a truce right now before paperwork comes involved.
Right.
Called even at this point.
But
so obviously we're all pumped. This is something.
I just wonder how long of a series it's going to be. If it's meant to be like a single season type of thing, or if it's going to be
there is a lot. There's a lot they can do with it.
Also, is it going to be like 12 episodes, or is it going to be like a full length Clone Wars thing where it's 22 episodes?
I would imagine that it would be more. So I don't know. Yeah, but with the burning away of the Clone Wars logo at the end, it does seem like this is kind of the new thing, Right. Like it just very much feels like Lucasfilm is going, Clone Wars is really done for real. This is the thing. And it doesn't, I feel like they wouldn't have done that if it was only like a 1-season show.
Right. Oh, so you think the Bad Batch is gonna be like a 4-season arc at least?
3 or 4 seasons maybe. Yeah. They've got enough content they can explore. Yeah. This era is between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. You've got 19-20 years, give or take, of content you can explore.
Yeah.
So,
and if that is Finnick, like they're tying in already Mando. I mean, I don't think we'll see Mando or anything like that, but like
no.
To tie in, like, clearly Dave Filoni loves what he's doing. 1, 2, he loves creating stories and somehow merging them together at this point. And I think it's really cool. And I feel like Dave Filoni's like vision overall is to like, how do we make all of my stories be one long continuous story?
I saw an article that said the Filoni-verse.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's probably not any way we'll see Mando, but I do think we could see some of the early relationship between Finnick and Boba.
Ooh.
Potentially. That was one thing that I've seen a few times where people are like, yeah,
but
we
how
could
would
see
we
Boba.
see Boba?
What do you mean how?
He's alive.
He's growing into the biggest bounty hunter in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Like he could be taking missions from the Empire
because this is before New Hope.
Yeah.
Dude, Finnick is old then, huh?
No,
I mean, she doesn't have to be that old.
50. What's the actress?
I mean,
the actress in Mando, what is she, like 50 or something? 52 or something like that?
Dude,
so if it's 25 years earlier, like she's just...
Yes, she's in her 20s.
A young buck.
All right, so any more speculations on that?
No, I feel like a lot of our speculation is going to be next month when Jeremiah is doing his own fan fiction.
Right.
And
if you guys haven't listened to my first season,
you need to do it.
Get caught up because we're jumping into season 2, and it's
dicey.
It's juicy. It's juicy. A lot of details.
We're in season 2, so there's already season 1 out there. So when you guys are watching the season 1 of Bad Batch, just know that most of it's already been written and talked about. So.
Right.
We've already done a podcast
for the
on
actual series to come out.
We've already done a podcast on it. So
okay. So next thing, I do have a brief blurb about Mando season 3, Christmas. That's kind of the thing. That's it.
That's
Christmas. Yeah.
All right. Proud of you.
We don't have any.
I think so everyone's saying like Christmas Day. It's Christmas, you guys.
No, it's actually Christmas Day.
Well, okay, so this is a good segue. Is
that confirmed? Because she says Christmas. No. That means nothing because that's what she said about all the movies.
True. Just listen.
Okay.
What I was going to say is that she said the next step in that story. So here's some context. Obviously, they're interweaving a story between Ahsoka, Rangers of the New Republic, and Mando. How interwoven that is, we don't know, but they've already hinted at crossover episodes.
Yep.
Like we already know that Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka both take place during that timeline. So those are things for both of those shows we do know. Those have been confirmed. We do know they take place in the same timeline, and we have already been given a hint from Disney that they're going to be crossover episodes.
Well, and Rangers is what's her name, right?
We don't know.
Really?
We don't know.
Oh, okay. Because a lot of the speculation is that it's her show.
Whose show?
Cara Dune.
Cara Dune.
Oh, I don't know. She's a marshal anyways, so
true.
Slightly different. But one of the things that she said was that Kathleen Kennedy said was that the next chapter in that story starts Christmas 2021. And it's not been confirmed whether it's just Mando or Mando in another show. Mm-hmm. So there is a possibility that we could be getting more around Christmas time of this next year.
Gotcha.
We just don't know what that next chapter is. We would assume it's Mando, but we don't really know that for sure. But it is a good segue for both of these shows because we know very little about Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka. Extra things that we know that I haven't said yet. Rosario Dawson is for sure reprising her role It is a limited series written by Dave Filoni and produced by him and Jon Favreau.
I think they're already filming it.
Yeah.
My guess is they're already doing it. And what I mean by that is like they were doing season 2 and they were just, all right, we're going to start the Ahsoka show right now too.
Well, you heard during the announcements during the investors meeting that they created 2 other volume stages.
Yeah. Bigger.
So they've got the capability to begin filming more shows at one time now.
Yeah,
and London and Australia, right?
No, so they're creating one in London and Australia, but there's another one in Hollywood too. I think there's 2 on site that they're using.
So it's very possible.
Yeah.
But
I think the London one is gonna have to is more of the other show. Is what the London one is gonna be used for. What's the Rogue One show?
Cassian Andor. Yeah.
Andor.
So for these 2 shows, obviously we're very excited about Ahsoka, obviously, especially now that we know that we've got Rosario Dawson returning and Dave Filoni is involved, very heavily involved. So there's very slim chances now that it could go wrong.
Yes.
Right.
But what do you guys think about Rangers of the New Republic?
I'm excited for it because it's the 2 X-Wing pilots. They're going to be that we see in Mando. They're kind of on a fringe off that. Like Rangers, like that's not necessarily a fighter pilot thing, but like that reach of the New Republic into the galaxy and them trying to maintain order and stuff like that, and their interactions with the remnants of the Empire, like it'll be cool to see like a military conflict in a show.
Yeah.
While we're seeing the small stuff with Mando and his stuff, and then whatever Ahsoka's doing with Thrawn, and if the whole Thrawn thing, Thrawn could be the primary antagonist for these 3 shows coming together and crossing over.
Potentially, yeah.
And so, in order to do that, they need a show focused on the military efforts of the New Republic.
And it's like a spy, right? It's like a spy thriller, or is that
that's
the other
Andor.
One. That's Andor.
It is interesting because it does seem like they're kind of covering their genre bases. So like the Rangers show seems like it could be more related to like a Western, like a guns,
that's Mando.
Not like Mando, but like more, I guess, like a military movie,
ruining more of like a group of military people going out and doing missions against the Empire, like destroying bases.
So they have that, or they have the military thing. They've got the Western thing. Ahsoka's probably going to be more samurai geared in that realm, So they're covering
Jeremiah's
their bases.
A beautiful thing. They got the war thing, the gunslinger thing, and Ahsoka, the beautiful thing.
Oh yeah,
gosh, like the good, the bad, the ugly type of thing.
Yeah.
But then they also had the spy genre in Andor, where it seems like it's going to be more like which we'll get to that, like a space.
For that Rangers thing, I really hope Chuck Norris is in it. Chuck Norris as like a Ranger. That'd be so great.
That would be so dope.
Like even if it was just like him, like
I'm 100% on board.
Like a leadership guy, like he's training someone, just like
even if he just walks in, if he walks
does
in,
like a roundhouse kick in the background, like that'd be like,
nope, 100%.
For those of you that want to know why I'm silent, I've been shaking my head the whole time.
Why, dude?
What do you got?
He's super old, like really old now.
He's like 75.
And he's in great shape, but still, like...
Have you seen his body? He's fine. He can walk in the background and do a roundhouse kick and walk out.
All right.
And set his hat down.
Like, Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down.
Okay, we've all heard jokes. Oh, gosh. I'm not gonna hold my breath for that one, but you know what? If it happens, it happens.
True, but also, yeah, that is the definition of a dad joke.
Yeah,
That's the one that Jeremiah gets for this episode.
yeah. No,
But
but
yeah,
I'm
anyway,
excited.
yeah,
I am excited about that show. I mean, I'm obviously really excited for Ahsoka, but
Yeah.
I am excited. I mean, I'm more looking forward to new Star Wars content in general, in the form of, because we've talked about this, in the form of like series versus movies, because you have time for more development and you have time to tell more of a story than you can in 2.5, 3 hours, and so
yeah, and I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
like I was saying about Thrawn being potentially the primary villain in all three of these shows coming together. Like, we just did a series on the Thrawn trilogy that
yeah,
everybody adores, and they consider that the sequel trilogy for Star Wars. Like, maybe Disney is taking a lot of, borrowing a lot of ideas from those three books and making that part of these three series coming together, where Thrawn is that villain trying to do something, and it could be like a standalone story that's not an episode thing like the sequel trilogy, but it's that story that everybody wanted that rounds off the end of
yeah.
this. But
There are a lot of people that are speculating that Disney's going to use these shows to slowly retcon the sequel trilogies, and I don't think that's going to
they're
happen.
they're
don't
not going
think
to
that.
retcon it. They're not
Yeah,
going to do it.
Now,
I don't think
yeah.
that's going to be the case.
But I think that if they could give that story, a Thrawn story, and then people could see that as, well, this is my sequel trilogy in a sense, like for the fans, like I could see them doing that, but they're not going to full-fledged retcon.
Yeah, and there are rumors right now that Lars Mikkelsen is
He has to
in
be, like,
early talks to be Thrawn. And that would be another great example where they would get the voice actor, and he physically, like in his face, he could play the part. He totally could. So,
like,
I
his
think,
voice is so iconic in Rebels
yes,
that,
yep,
like, you can't replace it. Like, as much as I wanted Ashley Eckstein to voice Ahsoka, like in live action, Ahsoka's voice isn't really that crazy unique. Like, it's
yeah,
a
but his
typical
Thrawn's
female
voice
voice.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
But his cadence and inflections and stuff, like how he
yeah,
does it, it's just how I think of Thrawn, and anything else
right,
than that is just going to be
yeah,
Do you guys
terrible.
think that
and
we'll get Thrawn on Friday?
No.
no.
I know you're obsessed with Thrawn.
I think we
not
will.
gonna
I think we'll
we
get
will.
a shock scene where a Jedi shows up.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
But I don't
I
think
don't
we'll
want to
get Thrawn.
speculate too much, but I think we're gonna get Moff Gideon escaping because he's not gonna die, and Thrawn in a hologram telling him where to go.
Maybe.
That's
Who
my
knows?
prediction.
But I was going to say it is really cool to see. It does seem like with Jon Favreau being involved in The Mandalorian, we're beginning to see the same slow and steady world building in this cinematic, like this TV cinematic universe.
Like a Marvel.
That the same way it began to slowly build in Marvel, because we've got the presence of the two, the fighter pilots. We've got Ahsoka. He's beginning to subtly lay this foundation of, okay, now we'll have our own series, and then eventually we can bring it back all together for crossover episodes and like really,
Yeah.
it'll all make sense. And so that's really cool. That's really cool to see happening for sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty excited for. I wasn't like I didn't expect that other show to be tied in, but now that they're like these are on the same timeline, they're all going to be tied in. It's kind of what me and Jeremiah kind of, or like we've predicted in the past about how like if they have Ahsoka, it'd be potentially like Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn. We could pick up from that episode, right? And then maybe have like a episode where Mando is interrupting Ahsoka or something, like across episodes, kind of like DC universe sort of things where like it's from different people's perspective and stuff like that, and I think that'd be really cool. There's so much potential in that and so yeah, and anything like, I mean, if Jeremiah approved the Ahsoka episode, I think we should be set and we should be able to make the rest of the Ahsoka show good. So
they'll be fine. They'll do a great job. Okay, so Andor.
Yes.
Here's what we know. It is set for a 2022 release. We did get a sizzle reel during the investors meeting, which was a combination of footage from Rogue One and audio from Rogue One, and then some quick shots and sound bites from very early from very early production stuff. The reason for that is it kicked off 3 weeks ago in London. Production did. So it is officially in production. We did learn from the sizzle reel that Diego Luna is executive producing as well as playing Cassian Andor. He is one of the executive producers. And then there are 12 episodes, at least, in this first season. So we're getting more than Mando.
We're getting more than Mando. I think it's a 1-season thing.
Probably.
I don't know. They're a 1-season thing for looking at the sets that they were building, and
now that's a good point.
I feel like if they were going to do 1 season, they would just mainly do it in the volume.
Well, the volume's not ready though yet in London. They're building. She said they're building it in London.
But I feel like there's a scene in that sizzle reel where we see
Jeremiah's right. There is.
There's a scene where
it's clearly in a volume type environment. Yeah.
Oh.
So like, I think that it will end up being multiple seasons.
You think they're just saying, because they just said this 12 episode arc. That's what they said. It said arc.
Well,
unless they do like 6 episodes anime season 1, 6 episodes season 2, or something like that, and there's
or no, I think it's gonna be 12 episodes, and if it goes good, they'll keep it going. Like they don't want to commit to anything. I mean, Mandalorian, we didn't know till like mid season that we were getting a season 2. Like that wasn't 100% confirmed, and I think they just want to see how it plays out. Honestly, I was not really excited about this. I was like, it was like whatever, but after seeing that, it brought back so much love of Rogue One for me. I was like, oh shoot, I'm actually excited for this. And also the other guy who's like behind it too, he's like a really well known like spy thriller director. I think it's gonna be really sick, and it's gonna have a lot of sweet.
Is he the one that did the Bourne movies?
Yes,
Jason Bourne movies.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already
these are going to be great then.
In that.
Yes.
So.
Well, exactly. And like, the hand-to-hand combat is going to be like unreal. Like it's going to be so sick. So I'm excited. And like he was one of the main actors, right, in Rogue One. But then after like seeing him, and that scissor reel and stuff, I forgot how much of a good actor he was. And like it's going to be dope. I'm pretty excited for it.
I'm just excited because there's the line, or a few lines that he says in Rogue One where it's like he expresses the dark deeds that he did.
Yeah.
In the name of the rebellion. Mm-hmm. And I hope that we see that fleshed out, where we see him doing, he's on that line of morally wrong, morally right, him crossing lines, and how he deals with that conflict, and how leadership within the rebellion, maybe disciplines or something when those lines are crossed. So like, I want to see that darkness and that line treading.
I think we will, and like that's why they also highlighted those lines as well in this clip.
Right.
Yeah,
is because they weren't gonna show us those highlights and then not give us that. So I'm pretty sure that is what the series is like him swaying between good and evil, like having to kill people or hurt certain people to get the job done, and like understanding like that the Empire, there's a lot of people in the Empire that are there because one, they were forced into it essentially. So
yeah, and what would be cool is season 4 of Rebels, they were on Yavin, right?
Yeah.
So
Or
potentially,
wasn't it 3?
What? Well, what season? I think it was season 4 because season 3 is when, at the end of season 3 is when Agent Callus.
Spoilers.
3, 2, 1.
He's turned to the rebellion side.
Yeah.
And then we see him in season 4.
Yeah, that's right.
You're right.
So I think potentially we could see the Ghost Squadron or whatever they call it. Is that what Ghost Squadron?
The Ghost Crew?
Ghost Crew, whatever they call them.
Ghost Squadron, yeah.
We could see them on Yavin in that show, maybe in the background, because we've seen the Ghost in Rogue One.
I think there's so much potential of getting the Rebel crew in this somehow.
Yeah, I mean,
like they're having to do a mission together and something.
We do have Mon Mothma confirmed.
Yes, that's confirmed.
Right.
So, like, we're already getting a pretty prominent figure in the rebellion, and it would not be a stretch to add other people in.
I wonder if Bail Organa could be in it.
Maybe.
I wonder if Thrawn could be in it.
Oh gosh.
I'm serious.
Well, yes and no, because
right?
This is before he disappears, but
Thrawn can't be in everything, Drew.
I'm just saying facts that could tie this all together with everything. You were literally just saying how there's potential of tying all these shows together, and like, yes, these shows are for sure tied together.
No, I was talking about the 3 that are post Return of the Jedi.
Correct. But as everyone knows, in the Star Wars universe, it's not that big.
That is true. Like
everyone knows everyone.
As big as the galaxy is, only all the same people know each other. Like Finnick is going to be with the Bad Batch. Like, there's only 100 trillion different.
The one other black lady that we see in all of Star Wars is Lando's daughter. Like, the galaxy is not that big. Point. The galaxy is not that big, and it would not surprise me if somehow Thrawn is behind one mission that they have to try to get through.
I think that
I don't think it's going to be about Thrawn. I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't surprise me if they.
There could be a name dropper reference, but I don't think we would ever see him.
It's possible.
And if they do have live action Ghost Crew, that means they would have to cast Ezra live action, and we could potentially see him first in Andor, and then we would see him in the Ahsoka series.
Well, Andrew just said that we might get Ezra tomorrow or the Friday.
No. I said we might get a Jedi. There's a difference.
Ezra.
I don't know who it's gonna be.
There's like 3 options right there.
Cal Kestis, Luke, Ahsoka,
Leia.
That is true.
Yeah, I guess.
That would be no, I don't want that.
I don't really care.
But it's a possibility.
But is she be pregnant?
Yeah.
Wouldn't she be pregnant?
Yeah. This 5-year, 6-year thing is post Return of the Jedi is when she has a kid. So, and that's when she hangs up her lightsaber. So
yeah,
this is at the end of her Jedi training, would be around this time.
Yeah.
And she could have a baby bump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be like, you know, when they give those little like robot dolls to the teenagers to, like, take care of. She's just taking a test run with Baby Yoda to see what it's like.
Oh my god!
And then like, oh yeah, this is.
Jeremiah, I can have a kid. What the frick, dude? I had PTSD because I had to take one of those home in middle school.
You did?
Yeah. Shout out to that
middle school.
Lab. Oh yeah,
I never had
it. My school never had those.
8th grade.
Did the baby survive?
Yeah, I did.
That's
I did
all
a
that
really good
matters.
job. I got a super high score on that thing.
You didn't
But
make your mom take care of it while you're sleeping?
no, because I was responsible. I literally,
Okay,
I
yeah.
have a legitimate, like, vivid memory of it waking me up, and I sat at like 4:30 in the morning, and I sat on my bed, on the edge of my bed, because my parents were like, "We're not helping you," and I sat on the edge of my bed, and I had my head in my hands on my knees. I was so tired. I was like dozing off, and I had one of my feet on the little carrier,
Oh,
rocking it back and forth, and it eventually stopped.
And this is why Andrew doesn't have a kid today.
That is correct. If I want something to wake me up in the middle of the night, I've got a cat that likes to do that. So
yeah, there you go. You heard it here first.
Yep. Okay. So the next few we don't have as much information on.
Right.
But let's move on to Visions. So about Visions, here's what we know. They are getting some of the best anime creators on board for this project. It is 10 short films, an anthology series, all anime, and it is slated for a 2021 release. So this coming up year. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the stories are going to be, but good Lord, I'm excited. I'm a longtime, Drew and I both, longtime anime lovers.
So, question though I have, because I don't know anything about anime. The only anime I ever watched, real anime, was Pokemon. Is that even considered? Like,
I mean,
but
yeah.
No,
that's real.
And then Avatar: The Last Emperor, but that's not anime.
Dave
That's
Filoni.
an American anime, which is Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
But my question is, because they're getting like 10 of the best ones from Japan. Yeah. Like, is that considered to be like modern ones? Because like Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff was made what, like 20, 30 years ago?
They're still making Dragon Ball Z today, Jeremiah.
But like the original
artist is still making.
That's so long ago. Like, it wouldn't be those people, correct? It would be like
the original artist is still designing and writing Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
So that is a possibility.
I would say they'd probably
I don't think
like,
it's going to be them because it's too much money.
Can you imagine the studio behind like My Hero or Attack on Titan doing a Star Wars episode? Good Lord,
if it
that
was
would
Attack
be
on Titan. Oh my.
Or like a Studio Ghibli style Star Wars episode too. That would be beautiful.
So they're having a bunch. So I mean, these are all possibilities, and Studio Ghibli is huge. What they produce over there is like ridiculous. So that wouldn't surprise me, honestly, if they actually did pull them, because that is kind of up their style of anime, where it's completely different and it's super unique writing style and flow.
Yeah,
that would kind of fit them actually. And honestly, this is gonna make them so much money.
Well, I've always wanted. There's a short film on YouTube, where it's, I forget, it's like fighter pilots or there's like an anime where they did it in like a classic anime style, like the old Gundam Wing style anime.
Oh, that's sick.
Where it's like a fighter pilot, a TIE fighter, like and then an X-Wing
thing.
Yeah. So that was really cool, but I'd love to see what they do with it in a modern anime style.
I literally have like these anime, like Japanese shirts that are like a Vader and a Han arguing. But it's like there's so much potential behind it, and like we don't know what they're doing, if they're gonna like redo stories, but in in like an anime style, or if it's gonna be their own stories. We don't really know. I kind of hope it's their own, but with characters that we know, because that would be super sick. My real question, and a question that I feel like a lot of people do have, is it going to be subbed?
I hope it's subbed.
Or is it in English?
I mean, it'll probably be in English, but I hope they have an option for subs.
Me too.
Because I can't watch dubbed anime.
No. I really hope that it is subbed.
I can't do it.
Well, I think it's still, Lucasfilm is an American thing. It's primary English.
Right.
But it's going to be in English. It's not going to be...
I really don't think
so. As long as they have an option to watch it in Japanese with subtitles, I'm fine.
I think it's gonna
Well,
be
because like Castlevania on Netflix
yes.
is originally in English, and
Mm-hmm.
they had an option
Well,
to do
Netflix
it with
is
Japanese.
like Netflix is so good about that. They had that
Yeah,
Over the Moon show that just came out, or it's a
yeah,
movie, and it's all written and directed and all Asian Chinese actors, right? And but it's in English because it was made by an English
yeah,
group, right? But then they have it in Japanese, they have it in Chinese, they have it in Korean,
yeah.
and a lot of it's singing too, and all the songs are translated and different because of the song.
That's
Like
cool.
so, it's like 3 different versions of the movie, and it's super
Yeah,
cool. And like
yeah,
I think because it is, if it is like it's Lucasfilmed, right? Like, but if it is run by these companies, I can only imagine like their push for this is to get a different market and to like
right.
be
Yeah,
more into the Japanese anime market. I'm
which
guessing it's probably gonna be dubbed, but I'm guessing it's gonna be in Japanese as well.
yeah. Well, speaking of that, did you know that they are making a manga adaptation of Claudia Gray's Leia, Princess of Autoron book?
No.
They are. I haven't read it. Makaya, my wife, read it, and she loved the book. She said it was great.
I have the book. I
So,
started reading it. But I love her. She's amazing. She's
yeah,
that writer is amazing.
yeah.
She
Oh,
wrote my
she's got
favorite
some great
book
stuff. Yeah,
that Andrew
yeah.
probably still hasn't finished.
I haven't finished it yet. I'm reading a Republic Commando novel right now. So, anyways, we're definitely excited about the
Yes.
anime show.
I'm really
Lando,
excited for that.
you're really excited about the anime or Lando?
Both actually,
Oh, okay.
depending on who's Lando, because not
That,
confirmed.
yeah, I
There's
really
no
hope.
way they're gonna have an 85-year-old guy doing a lead on a show. Like they're not
Well,
gonna.
no,
No,
no, no, no,
no, no,
no.
no.
We're not talking about that.
I'm
We're talking
saying
about Donald Glover or
if
not
it's
Donald Glover.
not
Why
Donald
wouldn't they
Glover,
have Donald Glover? There's no reason they would have someone else. That's. I don't care what your fingers
he's
are doing right
expensive.
Yeah,
And
they've got to.
he is
now. There's no
flippy
way.
floppy.
I
As an
guarantee
artist,
you
he
that when
is.
he signed on for Solo, he signed
Well,
for
I hope you're right. They haven't
Yeah,
confirmed it though, and that's the problem that I have.
yeah. There's very little
Yes,
for
they do.
Lando. What?
Jeremiah said they don't have to confirm it, but
But
they
how about
do.
this? You hear all of our fans are listening to this right now. If it is not
I'm not saying
Donald
it's
Glover,
not.
I would drink a cup of Wesley Andrews coffee.
Well, yeah,
That's how confident I am that they're gonna have him.
well that makes
be
it
the
sound
person.
like you don't want to drink the best coffee in the galaxy,
No, I don't want
which
to
is
drink coffee.
also
It's all the
the
same to me.
next sponsor of the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. You're right.
Andrew hit it.
All right. Yeah. Like Drew said, listen to a quick word from the other sponsor of today's episode, Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. Yep. Do it.
Do it.
Yeah,
Go get
so
a
it's
subscription.
definitely Donald Glover.
Okay. So things we know about the Lando series, it is called a brand new quote event series. And I don't know what that means,
Nobody does.
but the only other thing that we know is that Justin Simeon, I hope I'm Simeon, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He was the writer, producer, and director of Dear White People.
Which
He is
I
creating
don't
it.
know.
oh
anything.
my gosh, Jeremiah, you gotta watch it. It's amazing.
It's good.
It's
Yeah.
so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Great work. So I'm confident having him.
Oh, when they announced
Behind the
that who
wheel.
it was him, I was pumped.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
so
I
pumped.
was super pumped too.
And I think it
they're
is
do a
gonna be
great
Donald
job.
Glover because Donald Glover. It sounds like more of the kind of role he would do as Lando.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So
I really hope it is Donald Glover.
That's all we. That's really all we know.
I'm not really excited for this show at all because I don't want a Lando show. I want a show that's
a Maul show
about Solo, Lando, Kira, and all that stuff. So the fact that it's specifically Lando, it means we're not getting the Han Solo stuff and the Kira stuff and the Maul stuff.
You know why that
Not
is?
necessarily.
I don't
they
think
could be
that's
cameos.
true, but I think we could still get the Maul stuff.
But Lando has nothing to do with Kira, though. Like, they know of each other, but, like, he's out on the outskirts playing sabacc in the jungle somewhere.
Well, I mean, they're writing a new story, so...
Yeah.
But,
like, up until this moment, Han didn't. Like,
Han didn't what?
Like, he didn't have anything to do with Maul until now. You know what I mean? Like, who's to say that's not a thing? And
I think
I don't.
It's weird that they would have, if they were going to do that trio of people plus Maul, it's weird that they would call it Lando.
This is from his point of view. I don't think we're going to see Han.
Which is a terrible choice.
I'm actually okay with that. I did not enjoy that actor
that
much.
I'm just excited to see Lando.
Yeah. Donald Glover is like one of my favorite people in the world, so I'm excited if it is him. That's why I'm like, if it's not gonna be him, it's gonna be whack. Like, I don't care. But because if it is Donald Glover, then I'll watch anything that Donald Glover puts out.
Yeah.
So, have you seen his stand-up? Kills it.
Dude,
listen to his rap.
Yeah.
Demolishes it. Come on.
Yeah, some of it we probably can't reference.
I can't.
But
you have to be of age. But it's
but it is really good. It's really good. And I've said this before on the podcast, but for those of you that don't know, Ludwig Göransson, the composer for The Mandalorian, is Donald Glover's main producer for his Childish Gambino stuff.
Yep.
So,
and which is why they picked him.
Yep. That is actually that's
Donald,
actually why.
During Lion King, Donald Glover was talking him up to Jon Favreau. That's why they picked him.
So moving on, the thing that I think I'm least excited about of all of these things, a droid story.
Yes. Okay. Now, Jeremiah, you can not be excited about something.
I don't know a lot about it, so there's nothing.
Yeah, it'll be a new story. The things we know, it'll be a new story. There will be a new hero alongside 3PO and R2, who will be guiding this new hero, who I guess is a droid. It's going to be an animated movie, and the big deal.
It's animated.
Huh? Yeah,
I knew it was animated. I didn't know it was a movie.
I didn't know it was
animated. I read it was a movie. It could be a TV show. All I do know is that Lucasfilm Animation is teaming up with ILM for this, and that was kind of the big thing that Kathleen Kennedy said. She was like, they're teaming up with ILM, and I was like, okay, I don't really know the significance of that, other than two powerhouse companies coming together to work together. But
I think it would be something. It could be like something in the like animated, but in the style of like the cinematic trailers for like Knights of the Old Republic and all that stuff.
Ooh.
Which is weird that they would do that for a story about R2-D2 and C-3PO.
Yeah.
But I want to see like
more of like
realistic animated
Pixar animation,
like mocap thing. I think but those are super expensive. Like
true, but they're partnering up with like Lucasfilm is partnering up with 20th Century Fox to create other products. Like they said that too. Some of those other Lucas films, not Star Wars, but other things they're doing. They're teaming up with 20th Century Fox, which Disney owns. So it might not be a far stretch to think at one point Lucasfilm will team up with ILM and Pixar to create something like that.
Pixar, huh?
That'd be cool.
a Pixar animated film for Star Wars.
Yeah, why not? Like Pixar. I mean, come on.
All I know
I
is
love
that
Pixar.
this won't be able to beat the Droids animated series for me. Have you all ever seen that?
No.
It's literally called Droids, and it's C-3PO and R2D2. Dude, y'all, it's bad. It's really bad,
Oh.
but
When
it's
was this?
bad in the best way.
When was this?
I don't even know what year it came out, but
Is
it
the
was like
content
I was
available?
able to rent them on VHS when I was
Oh my.
like going to the
that old.
Hey, here's a blast from the past from all of you youngins listening to the podcast.
You're
Do you guys
about to-
remember video stores?
Blockbuster, Hollywood. Wait,
Dude,
what's it? Hollywood Studio.
Hollywood
we didn't
Video.
even have
Video.
we didn't have Hollywood Video. We didn't have Blockbuster. We had Video Wizard was the first one.
What?
No, seriously, it literally a wizard in a purple robe with like stars all over it, and he was on the logo, Video Wizard, and then it changed to Movie Gallery.
Interesting.
That was it.
We were
You go-
Blockbuster and the other
Yo,
one, Hollywood.
You go rent
Video.
your movies, you rent your games. I remember there was a stint where I was playing the Stuart Little 2 game on PlayStation 2, and I didn't have a memory card, and so I couldn't
Turn it
I
off.
couldn't turn my PlayStation off, and so like I beat the
gosh.
game in like a solid 48-hour stint. Just I kept going back and going back and going back.
Oh god.
Anyways, but yeah, I rented a Droids VHS. So I think it was like the 90s or something like that, but it was good. It was terrible, but it was good, you know.
I miss Blockbuster.
I don't.
There's one left.
There is one.
Yeah, I follow it on Instagram.
Where is it at?
Was it the one that they used in Captain Marvel?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't
Seen
know.
it. So.
But moving on, a droid story. It'll be cute. But this is one that I'm actually really excited about.
Is what's his name reprising his role as C-3PO?
Oh yeah, if he's alive, he's gonna do it.
Because I saw that he posted on Instagram. He's like,
Yeah.
"Did she say a droid story?" Question mark.
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
Oh yeah, they'll have him do
I
it.
thought he had a big ceremony like in episode 9 after like his final scene, like
As live action,
no,
but not voice, I guess.
Yeah. So this next one I'm really excited about, The Acolyte. So here's what we know. Leslie Headland, who created the show Russian Doll, haven't seen it, but apparently critically acclaimed. She is the showrunner. And then the blurb that we get about it is a mystery thriller that will take the audience into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. So this is the first one that is set in this new High Republic era that we're going to be getting, January 5th of 2021.
Is the end of this era like, does it end at episode 1? Is that when the High Republic era ends?
No, because isn't it like 200 years before?
It's the era is like the books and stuff 200 years before, but
Yeah.
at the end of this era, when is the end of the High Republic?
There's,
know.
I mean, it just says towards the end of the High Republic. It could be the last 10 years. It could be the last year. It could be the last 5 minutes. We don't really know. But keep in mind that the really interesting thing about this is that at this point, the Jedi still believe the Sith to be extinct. So what I'm really hoping, and this is a speculation that will probably not come true. It probably won't. But what I'm really hoping is that we get some Plagueis content.
I think we will.
Plagueis or maybe young Palpatine. Because that
Plagueis, Palpatine will have Plagueis.
Yeah, that Plagueis novel is one of the best books, expanding universe books I've ever read.
That's the first Star Wars book I've ever read.
I think it was my first one too.
Oh, how cute!
It was either that or Tarkin.
Oh, I've never read it.
But anyways, I think it was. I actually think it was Plagueis though.
That book, dude. When Anakin showed up and Palpatine's like, "Who the frick is that?" Like, oh,
Yeah.
that part, I was like,
because in that book, he's alive in episode 1, right?
Yep.
Plagueis.
Midway through, yeah.
Midway
So
through.
Darth Maul isn't technically Darth Maul.
No,
he is.
But there's only the rule 2.
Yeah,
So
but Darth Maul wasn't.
You're not a Darth unless you're part of the 2.
Yeah, but it was more so he framed it as an assassin. I mean, it's the same thing with Ventress. I mean, granted, she never got a Darth name, but like Dooku was like, it's an assassin when he was really
it was an
training.
assassin.
Yeah, he was framed as an assassin.
And then it like becomes his.
I don't know.
His.
I don't like that idea that all 3 of them are alive together.
But that happens
that's
with Dooku and Ventress.
Yeah,
but Ventress wasn't a Darth Ventress. It was Darth Maul in episode 1. Like he wasn't labeled as an assassin.
He dies in the middle. He dies like Anakin comes, like they get Anakin right. They come, and then before the world knows his name as Darth Maul, he dies, and then he's a Darth Maul.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not canon, so
secret. He was training him as secret, and the whole point was to create an apprentice of his own.
Yes.
So
and
that
then
he
saw
Plagueis.
Anakin, and then he realized that was going to be his real apprentice. But it's crazy, like the way they describe the part where he sees Anakin for the first time coming off that ship. He literally, like, it's described in the sense of like, oh, holy frick, who's this person?
Yeah,
like, Palpatine's scared of him.
Yeah. And then whole, you see the birth of the plan of getting Palpatine into the chancellorship. Like it gives the prequel movies, especially episode 1,
it makes episode 1 so much better.
Yeah.
It makes it so much better.
But anyways, so the Acolyte, I'm really excited about.
Because it is female-led film. Like the characters are female, like the main characters. So I wonder.
We know that.
I've read it on multiple articles that it's a female-led cast. So the main characters are all.
I knew the director and the showrunner was female, but I didn't know the cast was.
I've read that it's a female-led crew of actresses, and so I don't know how that would play. Because the thing is, we don't know anything until we start getting these High Republic novels out.
Right.
So like,
it's too much to speculate. Who knows?
Yeah.
Potentially, we might get Yoda. We could kind of speculate we would see Yoda, but that's about it.
Potentially, yeah.
Because we do see an image of Yoda in the High Republic books, so and that it has been confirmed. So, I guess that's the only thing we can speculate is maybe we'll see Master Yoda walking around as Jedi Yoda.
Maybe. All in all, I'm excited for that one.
And that's a live action, or is that an animated?
We don't know. But I would assume live action.
Yeah. And it's a show, right? Not a movie? Or do we know that either?
That's what I thought. But we actually don't know. But I think it is a show, but
was that the last thing that they announced before the movie?
No.
Okay.
No, I saved the best one for last.
Well, okay, yes, we know what you're saying.
2 movies to discuss, and then a final show.
Okay, I didn't know if that was the last movie after they showed what's his name movie that we don't know anything about. But all right.
So let's get through these movies, and then come back to the thing we've all been waiting to hear about.
Hello there.
Or at least I have. So we've got Rogue Squadron. It's directed by Patty Jenkins, who is also the director of Wonder Woman 1984.
Which comes out Christmas Day, next Friday.
Yep.
It
is set for a December 2023 release. So it's now slated to be the official next Star Wars movie to be released, December of 2023. And it will introduce a new group of pilots who are trying to earn their wings and learn how to do pilot things and stuff like that. So for me, Now I haven't read these books, but there is a full series of books that, excuse me, people refer to as the X-Wing novels. I mean, because they are the X-Wing novels, but it's Wedge Antilles and this what becomes Rogue Squadron and their missions between Return of the Jedi and the Thrawn trilogy. So like the most notable thing between Return of the Jedi and the Thrawn trilogy, if that is 7, 8, 9, this Rogue Squadron series is the main kind of story plot thing for that. And so I haven't read them.
Those are canon or aren't?
No.
Okay, because there is a new like fighter pilot series that is canon. That
Alphabet Squadron.
yes.
Yeah, so it's different. That's a group with Hera.
Okay.
Yeah, that Hera's involved in that. But this, I mean, to be fair, we don't know when this takes place.
Yeah, we don't know.
It could be post. It could be post Return of the Jedi. It could be during the Civil War.
Because Rogue Squadron was started after the destruction of the first Death Star, right?
I actually don't know.
I was trying to look that up, and I think that's what I read.
That's like the one thing.
Sometime between episode 4 and 5 is when that specific squadron was created.
Yeah, I was never able, like, that's the one of the things for the expanding universe that I've not been able to get into yet. So I don't have a ton of information, but I would really hope that they're going to pull from some of those stories. Obviously, Wedge, as you know, the actor is not going to be involved in it himself because he's so old. But maybe, I don't know. We've already seen a young Wedge in Rebels.
Yes.
So maybe we can see, you know, a younger actor portray him and get him involved. But I mean, it looks really cool. It's like this, you know, the Star Wars equivalent of like a Top Gun movie. So that could be really cool. And that's exciting, you know.
We didn't get a trailer, right? We didn't get anything.
No, we got the video of her talking and walking towards the X-Wing at the end on the landing field.
See, I didn't see that in the panel video I watched.
I think it came out after it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't.
YouTube it's come up right up, and it's on StarWars.com.
Yeah.
This announcement.
Okay.
It's also, you're not missing anything. It just, she's talking about her father, and he was a pilot, and she's always wanted to make the best fighter pilot movie and hasn't been able to, and this is her chance to do that, and she's really excited. Like, it's like that sort of a thing. So it's nothing detail oriented, at least. And then of course we have Taika Waititi's movie. It is already in development to some degree. That's it. That's all we know.
But it's gonna come out after this one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, because they said the next movie would be Rogue Squadron. That's the next Star Wars movie. So I'm excited about Taika Waititi doing a Star Wars movie because I thought all of his stuff that he's done recently has been great.
Because he was Thor Ragnarok.
Ragnarok and the new,
which is my favorite.
Thor. That is,
yeah, it's arguably my favorite movie from that phase.
Because I wonder if, because it says his approach to Star Wars will be fresh, unexpected, and ... unique, and it says his enormous talent and sense of humor will ensure that the audience are in for an unforgettable ride. So like,
yeah,
I think it's gonna have like a.
It's gonna have a Thor Ragnarok.
I have a feeling it's gonna be kind of like a Guardians of the Galaxy feel to it.
Yeah,
that's like, because those are so unique in like the visuals and the outer space, like all these crazy environments and stuff, and that kind of humor. Like and that's similar to what we get in Thor Ragnarok. And so,
what if he revived the Ewok franchise?
Good.
Or what if, to get some cool humor in there, Jar Jar makes a return role?
No, we're talking humor, like real humor, Drew.
I mean, we laugh at him. Maybe you don't laugh with him, but it's still humorous.
Nah, but I'm really excited because like he did such a good job with Thor.
What?
Maybe. I was gonna say he did such a good job with Thor Ragnarok.
No, yeah, Thor Ragnarok was really good.
And which
his work
did he direct?
Episode 8.
Was it 8?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's why that whole Stormtrooper with IG-11 scene was hilarious. In a time where we weren't supposed to be laughing, we were laughing.
Yeah. Yep.
When they couldn't shoot the
Oh,
rock.
okay. I was like I thought you were talking about the end when he like sacrifices himself.
Oh no.
I'm like,
it was pretty funny.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that whole part was hilarious. And right before that, like the episode right before that, literally someone died. Right?
Yes.
And and we were supposed to be like mourning his death, and then the stormtroopers can't shoot anything, and like we're dying laughing. And that's his kind of style where we will be dying laughing, and it's gonna be so funny, and then like 5 minutes later we're gonna be like freaking out because something crazy just happened.
What if the whole movie is about stormtroopers at the firing range being trained, trying to shoot targets, and it's just 2 hours of people missing a target?
I wouldn't pay for that.
I would, because it's Star Wars. I played for The Last Jedi, so I would pay for that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair assessment.
More than once.
Okay,
seen it
so
3 times in theaters.
That's it, right? We're done, huh? Right?
Boys. Oh no.
All right.
No.
Oh, what?
You have been listening to another. Oh, what?
No.
No.
We've saved the best for last. So we got a motion graphic for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. So this is a big deal. We knew it was coming. We knew it was the thing. But things have been Wow, you really Dexter Jester, huh? You going for that deep cut, huh? You need 2 more arms so you can like pull up your pants while you're hugging him. Anyways, so it's official that the show is called Obi-Wan Kenobi. So it's not just Kenobi. A lot of people thought it was going to be Kenobi for the longest time.
His whole name. That's a long.
Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi. The I in Kenobi is his lightsaber hilt.
Okay.
Weird.
Don't know if you guys noticed that.
I didn't.
But there is sand, and
everywhere.
Anakin hates sand.
It gets everywhere.
And that is a segue to the fact, one of the things that we know is that Hayden Christensen is returning to reprise his role as Darth Vader. Cue the chorus of air horns. Yep, there it is. Hayden Christensen is coming back. They're bringing back the duo. And I quote, Kathleen Kennedy said, it will be a rematch of the century.
That is exciting.
Yes.
But the thing is, we know that neither of them die. So it's like, there's no stakes.
Well, dang.
I'm just saying, like,
Jeremiah,
no, but you know what this means?
It's going to be amazing because the best live action thing that we get is in episode 3.
Jeremiah just saw us riding high, just shot us straight down.
I'm excited for it. It's just that they have to do it.
None of them die until episode 4.
Oh my gosh! I mean, you're right, but
and the first half of episode 4 is trash, anyways.
I just don't want it to be like fan service for the sake of fan service. Like,
how is it not?
What do you mean? How is it not? Like,
it's totally fan service.
I just don't want a flashy lightsaber duel just for the sake of it. I want it to actually be meaningful.
Oh,
well, it will be. I mean, Deborah Cho. Speaking of another thing that we know, Deborah Cho is directing it.
Right.
And she directed which episodes of The Mandalorian? I think
3.
3 and
might have been just the 3 and 7. I know for sure 3.
I think it's 3 and 7.
It might have only just been 1, or just the 1 3. But
I think
anyway.
I thought it was 2.
So
3 is like my favorite episode. So
it does start, or it's set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, and production starts March of this year.
Right. So there's so many things that they could do with it, and we know that it can't all happen on Tatooine.
Correct.
And
there's no way, because he would have found Luke.
Right. So that's the thing. Like, he has to leave. If they fight each other, like, which is implied by everything that was said, that it's going to be off the world of Tatooine. So like I wonder what's so important that Obi-Wan has to leave Tatooine. Does he think it's because he has to protect Luke, like he sees a threat coming to Tatooine and he has to go out and stop it, or what? But
You don't know.
it's and the thing is, if it's 10 years after Episode 3, I think Solo was 9 years after Episode 3, and so there could be
a Maul
thing because we know from Rebels that, or it's implied in Rebels that Maul did fight Vader at one point or interact with him at one point. And
Sure.
so we could see that because Maul is probably still out there looking during this time, looking to find Obi-Wan because that's what he's doing
Right.
in Rebels. And so it would be cool to see those three.
I wonder if that could be potentially like a spin-off show though, because I feel like that's gonna kind of take away from Obi-Wan. If we have an episode about Maul and Vader fighting, that's not really Obi-Wan.
Well, I think it would be something like where in Clone Wars, Maul, he's a threat or a rival, is what Palpatine says, where he's doing his crime syndicate thing and it's interfering with his plan as a Sith. And if Maul is doing more shenanigans out there in the galaxy, he might have to send Vader out after him.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever Maul is doing could be what gets Obi-Wan off Tatooine because
Maybe.
that story arc between them two and their conflict is a theme in Clone Wars and in Rebels. So like it's not a far-fetched idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to see that. There's a part of me that would rather not have Maul in that show, like, and just
so
let
you're
it
saying
be.
you just want to focus on the Vader Obi-Wan relationship.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that would be more like a spin-off kind of thing, but it could potentially.
I don't think we're gonna get a Maul show. I don't think we are.
I think we are.
You don't think we're ever gonna see him live action again?
I think we're getting a Maul
We
show.
might see him live action, but I don't think we're gonna get a Maul show.
We're getting an Obi-Wan show. We're gonna have a Vader show as a spinoff, and we'll have a Maul that's gonna tie in.
We're gonna have a Vader show.
Yes.
I heard that rumor too that there's gonna be a Vader centric television series.
Yes.
But obviously
it's a rumor.
It's a rumor.
Sure, but up until this point, Hayden Christensen
but the Obi-Wan Kenobi one has been a rumor for like 3 years.
Exactly. So. If we want it, it happens. Us, the fans, we can make it happen. We save Solo.
Okay. And if they don't do it, I'll just win a $500 million Powerball and
for the 5th time. But anyways, but we're also gonna get a Maul that's gonna tie in Lando and Vader, and potentially other stuff. But I think the Lando thing is gonna pull into Maul a lot because it's around that same time, potentially.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think they're trying to fill out ways to make the Solo movie not a movie. Like, they want more that to be more relevant in the Star Wars universe. And people want to see more Solo stuff. And they had a lot of plans for all that stuff. And they let someone create a movie before this movie and made Solo not do good in the box office. But I digress.
Okay. Well, I'm very excited about the Obi-Wan show more than any of the other shows.
I am too. I'm maybe not as much as you, but it's something
I'm excited
we've been waiting
for
years.
I'm really pumped for it, and it also means that scene in A New Hope, it has even more weight to it. Since last time we fought, or whatever Vader's line was exactly in A New Hope.
Like, when I left you, I was but the learner, and you were the master.
Yes.
But now I am the master.
Yes.
And so that could be where he is. We still see Anakin's struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fully going to the dark side, and where he doesn't become a master in the dark side. until something is fleshed out in this series, which would be an interesting thing.
Okay, you think we'll get Ahsoka at all?
No.
Wow, I really do.
Dude, you're literally creating your own cinematic universe. You're like, let's throw this person in there, this person.
Write your own Thrawn fan fiction.
Why would we get Ahsoka?
Why wouldn't we get Ahsoka right after Clone Wars? Her struggling in the galaxies.
10 years later.
Yes, she's still alive.
Well, sure, but
she interacted with Vader during Rebels.
It needs to be about Obi-Wan and Anakin's relationship.
Sure, but Ahsoka could help that relationship.
Yeah, obviously it didn't help that relationship.
I'm just saying, wouldn't it surprise me if we get her? I'm not saying we will.
We could get Thrawn.
Huh?
We get Thrawn.
That's a stretch.
And Lando. And the Lando and Han.
No, we can't get Lando. See, now you're stretching. These aren't
get those girls.
I'm being serious. I really think it would not surprise me.
What is the sisters' names from season 7 of Clone Wars?
I know.
I don't even remember their names.
Not Toph. That's
Avatar.
Maybe we could get Toph. Toph on Tatooine. She could be a sandbender.
Stop! I'm being serious.
I would enjoy that, dude. We're not.
It wouldn't surprise me if we get Ahsoka.
You have to understand, like, there can't be too much cross pollination though, because like it begins to dilute the story.
I know, but I'm just
saying. The one thing though that I want to see explained.
Simply Orange.
I still have this. Yes.
Yeah,
this is technically raspberry lemonade. It wasn't.
Hey, you're a man of taste. I see that.
But I don't know if you've seen this detail or anything, but in Return of the Jedi, when Vader is lifting up Palpatine and throwing him down, he's getting electrocuted. If you do like a freeze frame and pause it on Anakin or on Vader's body when you see a skeleton, you actually see reconstructed skeletal features, especially in his neck. So at some point, Vader has broken his neck and has to have it reconstructed.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we could see that in this series where we see that explained, which would be a cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's possible.
Yep.
No, I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for the Ahsoka show, though. I'm probably more excited for that, honestly. But I don't know. I have mixed feelings. They're both definitely up there for
right
me.
now. I'm most excited for Bad Batch just because that's the one's coming up first, and we already have a trailer, and
we've got a fan fiction.
Fiction also.
I mean, I'm excited for Bad Batch, but I love live action over animation.
Well, and that I'm really excited to see more of the Star Wars universe like be fleshed out in series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because I think that's the future of Star Wars. I've said it before. I don't think it's movies anymore. I think it's shows like The Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's crazy because all of us we grew up on the movies, right? But we are way more excited for all these shows, and we kind of just passed over the 2 movies that have been announced. And honestly, it's they'll be cool, but
it's because they're not significant.
And also, we've been let down too much lately with those Star Wars movies, and so we want to stick to what's comfortable and what we like and what has not let us down, and that's The Mandalorian and all these potential shows. I mean, I'm kind of worried about Lando show because I know it's gonna have a way different feel, but the Ahsoka show, I'm so pumped for that.
Yeah, especially because Dave Filoni is so heavily involved in that show,
and Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
So I just want more Mando and more Ahsoka and more potential Thrawn and Boba if he doesn't die on Friday.
Oh gosh.
I would say the one thing that I've been wanting for a long time that was kind of disappointed that wasn't. It could because we've only gotten minor details on things with these announcements, but something that I wish that they would fill in story-wise is what happened between episodes 4 and 5 and between 5 and 6.
They have comics for that.
Is that the canon comics.
Yes.
Yeah, it's made by Marvel.
So then there's probably no intention of them making.
Probably
not necessarily,
not.
but
Stupid,
yeah.
because like I want to like the original trilogy more than I do, because you know that it's in the middle for me for the trilogy. So it's like, and I don't have as much fondness for the original trilogy as most people do. But like if they could fill in like an animated show, like between those two movies, the two things, like I would want to see those stories.
Well, I mean, Boba and Luke fight in between 4 and 5 in Obi-Wan's home.
Yeah, I think you told us.
Yeah, I mean, there's good stuff happening, you know, but
Is
because they decided to do it with,
That's canon?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. But they decided to do it in a run of comics. And they finished the Empire, the one between A New Hope and Empire, and I think they're doing a run now that's between Empire and Return of the Jedi. But it's literally called Star Wars. That's it.
I mean, they got to make their money. Comics make money, so.
So yeah.
I think that's all.
Well, listeners, listeners, what are you excited about? What are you not excited about? What are your thoughts? What are your suspicions, speculations, all of that jazz? If you want to tell us, you can do one of three things. Jeremiah and or Drew, what are the three ways they can contact us and let us know?
Well, you can do Facebook and Instagram. That'd be both at Empire Radio Podcast. And
those are the first two.
YouTube, Empire Radio, a Star Wars podcast. And in the near future, we'll be starting.
We have like 5 ways actually.
6.
We'll be starting a Discord for our fans.
Yep.
And we're currently in the process of setting that all up and writing all the little details for that. But we plan on launching that at the first of the year. And so we're excited for that. And we'll details to come.
Yes.
Yeah. And Drew, where can they leave us a voicemail?
You can leave us a voicemail right under your listening, wherever you're listening to this. There's a link to anchor.com or anchor.fm.
Yep.
/Empire Radio.
Empire-Radio.
Sorry. And you can leave a voicemail there. And we would love to hear your guys' thoughts and everything over there as well. And if we like what we hear, we will throw it on one of the episodes. And yeah, we're really excited because we do have some locked up and we are saving for more of that sort of episode. So be sure to subscribe wherever you're listening to this. And there's a lot more Star Wars coming for you, as you guys could tell by this episode. Yep. And just because Mando ends on Friday doesn't mean that there's not a lot of other stuff that we're going to be talking about weekly still. This is still a weekly podcast. And so.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of that, a few things. One thing that I forgot to mention earlier is that this Thursday night, Thursday, December the 17th, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Drew and I are going to be going live on Instagram to announce our grand prize winner. So there's something to look forward to. If you're on Instagram and you're following us, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. You can do the math for the other ones. That's when we're going live, and we're going to pick our winner. We're going to announce it live on Instagram. Another thing to look forward to is our episode surrounding the Mandalorian season finale. We'll have that coming Friday night. It's going to be one heck of an episode, I would imagine. But if you're really trying to find something to get you in the holiday spirit, next Tuesday, we are going to be discussing the Star Wars holiday special. And the fun part about this, aside from just reviewing the special itself, Jeremiah and Drew have not seen it ever. I have. I've seen it twice. So we're going to be getting their raw opinions for the first time that night. And then, as Jeremiah has mentioned a few times before, season 2 of the Bad Batch fan fiction that he's writing is going to be our topic of discussion for a few weeks in January.
And
so you got a lot to look forward to.
There's a lot. Also, real quick, also on Thursday, well, technically Friday morning, 2 a.m. my time.
Which is Central Time.
It's Central Time, to be exact.
Yep.
I will be going live on Twitch doing a watch party of the last episode of Mandalorian. So if you want to watch it with me, it will be on twitch.tv/empire, and you can find our Twitch channel, and I will be doing a live reaction and watch party of Mandalorian. You can't watch it on there, but there'll be a time clock where I will put in the time when the time of the episode will be counting down, and I will push play on my time clock and we can watch it together. I'm really excited for that. Hopefully everything works out good. I tested a lot of it last night. It seemed like it's going to work pretty good. And so I'm really excited to hopefully have you guys jump in and watch it with us. And
yeah,
I'll post some more stuff about it on Instagram and Facebook this week, so you guys don't forget.
Yeah.
If you guys want to stay up with me. And
yeah, Jeremiah and I will not be there.
They will
unfortunately.
be sleeping.
Yeah,
I will be sleeping, but I'll probably be so excited for the episode. I'm not gonna sleep that well.
So maybe Jeremiah might just watch.
No, I won't.
Watch me react and not hear anything.
I still gotta go to work, and
I do too.
I'm gonna see if my wife will let me get coffee and donuts, and then we'll watch it together Friday morning. But we'll see. We'll have to see. But all right. Anything else, boys?
Nope. That should be it.
Cool. All right. Well, without further ado, you have been listening to another episode of the Empire Radio Podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.